Today, we're diving into the fascinating and, at times, contradictory world of Harald Baldr, often known as the Northman. We're drawing our insights from an in-depth analysis titled The Northman's Odyssey, which really breaks down his unique presence in the digital travel landscape. Alex, Baldr isn't your typical polished travel vlogger, is he?
He's absolutely not, Chloe. The article highlights how Baldr has carved out a distinct silhouette on YouTube. He represents a specific archetype, described as a rugged, independent explorer who deliberately moves away from the sanitized aesthetic of mainstream travel shows. His content is far more raw and visceral.
And it seems that raw often translates into an endurance test for both him and the viewer. The piece mentions his videos can be over an hour long, where he's navigating chaotic streets or dense jungles. It's not just visiting a place, he's attempting to conquer it, as the article states, through sheer force of will.
Exactly. He's bartering, eating questionable street food, diving headfirst into local customs. This approach has gained him a loyal following who see him as an authentic guide to the real world stripped of any tourism board influence, but the article also points out a much deeper complexity to his persona, noting he's a figure shrouded in complexity and contradiction.
That complexity really comes through in the discussion of his past. His early rise involved a collaboration with Benjamin Rich of Bald and Bankrupt, a partnership that eventually dissolved. But then there are these rumored connections to controversial online subcultures that starkly contrast with the respectful, history-loving image he projects today. What are we seeing from him recently, say from 2024 to 2026?
The article says he's entered a new phase, characterized by a slower, more deliberate pace, but his commitment to his signature style remains unwavering. The frantic energy of his early years has subsided, replaced by a more reflective and observational tone. We saw this clearly in his Japan arc in early 2026.
Japan seems like an interesting choice for someone who thrives on chaos. Its orderly society and rigid norms don't exactly align with his brand of haggling and navigating disorder, do they?
It's a huge departure. His video exploring the 18th century wooden town of Kurashiki, for example, focused on an appreciation for preservation and history rather than the adrenaline of the unknown. And the Tokyo market hunt showcased his enduring love for finding unique artifacts. This movie-length format, often exceeding 90 minutes, is also a notable shift. He defies the conventional wisdom of YouTube, yet it works for his audience, who treat these as immersive, slow TV experiences.
So he's basically making mini documentaries. And he's also leaned into YouTube's members-only content, hosting exclusive Q&As. This seems like a smart way to engage his core fan base directly while also monetizing them.
It absolutely is. It provides a more controlled environment away from the broader public comment sections, too. Before Japan, he was in Vietnam and Italy, alternating between rough-and-tumble travel like eating rat in North Vietnam and indulging his passion for European history in places like Naples.
That's a wide spectrum. But we can't discuss Baldr without addressing the controversies. The article details several, and the pickup artist allegations seem to be the most persistent and damaging.
Indeed, online investigations have linked him to the pseudonym Herbert Baldr and other aliases used on forums dedicated to the PUA community, specifically mentioning those run by Roosh V. Critics allege he wasn't just a participant, but an instructor, selling advice on seducing women, often with a misogynistic undertone. This has led to accusations of sex tourism in economically disadvantaged regions.
He's never explicitly confirmed these details, but the article implies he's alluded to a wild past. And his early videos had a party bro aesthetic, suggesting he may have played to that audience before sanitizing his channel and deleting older content.
Yes, that's correct. The article also covers the much-speculated split with Bald and Bankrupt around 2022. Several theories exist for why their collaborations abruptly stopped. One theory connects it to the Ukraine war, given Baldr's strong support for Ukraine after living there for years, potentially clashing with Rich's more ambiguous stance on the Russian invasion. Another suggests Rich might have inadvertently revealed details about Baldr's hidden past. Or perhaps they simply drifted apart as their content focus diverged. Those are the main theories, and the article suggests that while the professional partnership ended, any animosity might not be total. Rich has even referenced Baldr jokingly in recent videos. Another key critique the article raises is his authenticity of his interactions, specifically the savior complex allegations.
Ah, yes, where he overpays locals or buys out a street vendor's entire stock. Many fans see it as generosity, but critics argue it's performative, designed to boost his ego and view count. And then there are accusations of staged encounters where interactions seem too convenient or reactions feel rehearsed.
Precisely. The article points to his heroic interventions in scams, asking if he truly stumbles upon these situations or seeks them out, perhaps even provoking them to create a narrative where the Northman prevails. It describes this ambiguity as a key part of the Harald Baldr experience. You're never quite sure where reality ends and performance begins.
It certainly adds layers to his persona. Looking at his life story, the article describes his biography as a puzzle with many missing pieces. He was born in Norway, a wealthy and stable country, which is framed as essential to understanding his fascination with the chaos of the developing world.
His background in a nanny state led him to seek out what he considers to be real-life experiences elsewhere. He spent years in Ukraine before YouTube, running a jewelry trade business which taught him Russian and acclimated him to Eastern European culture. This is where he likely developed his street smarts and hustler mentality.
And what about the bankruptcy myth? He often references financial struggles, creating this narrative of starting from nothing.
The article suggests this narrative is contested. While he may have had business setbacks, evidence implies he had a financial cushion from previous ventures, including alleged PUA coaching and dropshipping. So the broke traveler image was a powerful storytelling device, but he likely always had resources, even if he chose to live frugally.
That's a significant distinction. His YouTube journey, according to the piece, mirrors the platform's maturation. From early, generic, shaky vlogs, the turning point was his India series around 2018-2019.
That's where he truly exploded in popularity, especially with the collaborations with Bald and Bankrupt. Videos like "I Went Drinking in Mumbai's Worst Slum" became viral sensations. He walked into Dharavi, found a local bar, and drank with residents, showcasing the humanity of a place often demonized. The 400 rupee haircut established his formula. Risk plus interaction plus generosity equals viral gold.
That's a very clear formula. After the pandemic and the split with Rich, he had to reinvent himself. The article says he doubled down on history and culture, framing himself as an amateur historian.
Yes, his Peru series exploring Incan ruins and his Nepal coverage showed a more serious side. Now, in the current era, his channel is a library of long-form documentaries. He's invested in better equipment, mastered run-and-gun filmmaking, and his editing, while minimal, is effective. He's become a master of pacing.
Which brings us to his revenue. For someone of his stature, the numbers are substantial. The article estimates AdSense alone could be $10,000 to $20,000 per month, which it calls the floor of his earnings.
His long-form content appealing to a high-value demographic means his RPM, or revenue per mil, is likely higher, but his true financial engine is direct monetization. YouTube memberships are aggressively pushed with exclusive giveaways as a retention tool, and while he doesn't push merchandise heavily now, he has in the past.
The article suggests if even 1% of his 2.38 million subscribers pay $5 a month, that's a six-figure monthly income. However, his expenses are also high, with airfare, hotels, visas, and the thousands he gives away in videos. But he structured his life so everything is a tax-deductible business expense.
That's right, the article concludes that it's safe to estimate Harald Baldr is a millionaire due to his consistent performance over nearly a decade and a low-tax lifestyle as a perpetual traveler.
So let's get into the personality analysis. He leans heavily into his Norwegian heritage, calling himself the Northman and invoking Viking imagery. The article says this gives him a unique brand identity and frames his travels as a form of conquest of experiences. It's a persona that appeals to an audience that values strength and stoicism.
And then there's his spicy dichotomy. Describing food as spicy or not spicy is a meme among fans, but the article notes it reflects his binary view of the world. Things are either good, authentic, historical, respectful, or bad, touristy, fake, annoying. This simplicity is part of his charm, avoiding complex socio-political analysis.